around the corner. Joining me now is Allison Copening of the American Cancer Society, here also with Dr. Kamatu Jones from Healthcare Partners Oncology. And so this is a largely preventative disease, but it still remains such a killer. Why? What is going on? What part of the message is not getting out there?
Well, I guess I can start with it. One of them is that people are just not protecting themselves. And one of the things at the American Cancer Society, we have a little mantra, slip, slop, slap, and wrap, which is slip on something to cover yourself, slop on the sunscreen and sunblock, slap on a hat.
There you go.
And wrap your eyes in shade, and there you go. So that's the one main protector. Seeking shade when it's very sunny is another thing, and avoiding the use of indoor tanning beds. That's a big thing that young people are doing.
Even here in Las Vegas, people are still going to tanning beds a lot.
Oh,
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, they passed legislation in 2013 that prevents now minors from using tanning beds. Okay.
And Dr. Kamatu Jones, what do you see as the biggest problem with patients that come to see you?
As far as
the way they try and prevent skin cancer.
I think the biggest misconception is that they don't have strong enough SPF. It should be a minimum of 30. The biggest concern too is that people aren't aware that reapplication is also key. You should be reapplying 1.5 to 2 hours, regardless of what activity you're doing out in the sun. Particularly if you're being more active, the sunscreen does come off with swimming, exercise. So you should be applying as often as possible when you're out.
Am I correct in understanding the SPF is really just about sort of the duration that you have in between having to reapply? Is that roughly correct?
That's roughly correct, but for the most part, regardless of, you need a minimum of SPF 30, and the reapplication is key.
How do you get into the habit of just putting it on every day, especially in the summer? Is that something, first of all, you would recommend?
Absolutely. There's plenty of facial moisturizers, body moisturizers that have sunscreen SPF in them. So as soon as you step out of the shower every morning, that should be the next thing on you.
And Allison, this is something that has hit you personally right at home.
It has, yes. My brother died from melanoma in 2008. He was a native Las Vegan, worked out in the sun. He was in construction and, was fairly diligent about covering his face and his neck with sunblock, but his was behind his ear. Wow. And so, before he caught it, it had already spread into his brain and his liver, and unfortunately it was stage 4 at that point.
Yeah, I know you've made this sort of your personal mission for a long time now, because you've seen it, and an otherwise perfectly healthy man here taken down by this disease. That is largely preventative.
Absolutely preventative, and I think the doctor can back that up as well. If you just take these precautions and cover yourself up and use the sunscreen, it is highly preventable. Okay.
What's the best piece of advice heading to the summer months as far as parents lathering up their kids who maybe they don't want to deal with it? How do they do that?
And there are also there's swim clothes now that have SPF in them. So anything to cover up with the longer sleeves. And then even though the kids don't want it, they're just going to have to do it. It's just a better lesson to learn now.
All right, there we go. Dr. Jones, thank you very much. Allison with the American Cancer Society, I appreciate you coming on midday here to share the message. Very important one, certainly as we head to the summer months. All right, we'll be right back.